Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. What would you do if you found this old gold coin lying on the beach? Well, you can find out what somebody else did when they discovered it as we explore. Imagine strolling along the beach and finding a gold coin such as this, very old, lying on the beach. I tell you what, I would question the authenticity of this piece, but it is indeed real. And we were referencing a piece here that was shared with me by several members of the community from the Atlantic.ctv News. And this is a 600-year-old gold coin discovered in Newfoundland. Could be the oldest found in Canada. And St. John's, a history enthusiast in Newfoundland, has discovered what may be the oldest known English coin ever found in Canada. Provincial archaeologist Jamie Brake said Wednesday that he knew he was looking at something very special when Edward Hines sent him photos of a gold coin he'd found this past summer. The coin has since been determined to be about 600 years old, which predates the first documented European contact with North America since the Vikings. It's surprisingly old, Brake said in an interview. It's a pretty big deal, I would say. How did it get there? Now, when and why and how the coin wound up on the island of Newfoundland is still a mystery. Hines found the artifact in an undisclosed archaeological site somewhere along Newfoundland's south coast. The exact location is being kept quiet, but likely it was on the shore there. That is to not attract other treasure seekers. Hines was not available for an interview Wednesday, but Brake described him as a super intelligent man with a keen interest in Newfoundland's history. He said Hines contacted his local Heritage Society right away when he first spied the coin. He really did exactly what we would hope someone would do under the circumstances like this, Brake said. Through consultation with a former curator at the Bank of Canada's Currency Museum, it was determined that the gold coin was a Henry VI quarter noble. With a face value of 1 shilling and 8 pence, the coin was minted in London between 1422 and 1427. That's about 70 years before John Cabot landed on Newfoundland shores in 1497 after setting sail from England port of Bristol. But the coin's age doesn't mean someone from Europe was on the island before Cabot, Brake said. For example, it could have been part of a later settler's collection. It's unlikely that it was in circulation when it was lost, he said, adding that it was worth quite a lot of money in the 1400s. It's not sort of the thing you'd expect migratory fishers to be walking around with, he said. Last November, officials announced the discovery of a coin in Cupid's, Newfoundland, that was minted in Canterbury, England, sometime between 1493 and 1499. That coin, a half-groat, which was worth about 2 pennies at the time, was said to be the oldest English coin found in the country. So, and that's just it. It very well could have been a keepsake or that came in after, with some of these later settlers. But the fact it was lost there on the beach, pretty remarkable. What a find this is. Latest discovery trumps that find. Brake described it as a thin circle of solid gold. Yes, and that's just it. A lot of the gold coins at that time were very, very thin, and they didn't circulate as much because gold, just as it is now, was highly valued. So it really was not quite as necessary because a lot of people used silver coins at the time. So that is why you see that type of thing where the silver coins circulate much more and gold coins would be used for bigger purchases. So that is interesting. And the latest discovery trumps that find. Brake described it again as a thin circle of solid gold, slightly smaller than a quarter and weighing a little more than a dime. So it had to be really, really thin because, as you know, gold is very dense and very heavy in a small package there. To forget how he wound up on Newfoundland's south coast, Brake and his team will now flag the spot at which it was found as a site of interest and put together a plan to explore it. They're definitely interested in learning more, so a lot has yet to be discovered about the piece, and there is actually an interview. We're going to actually play it here so you can hear and see exactly what this is about here.
This almost 600-year-old coin is priceless.
It's kind of a big deal to find something as old as this in this part of the world. It was found in an active beach, so not in context, but it was found in front of a known archaeological site. So it sort of makes that particular site quite interesting.
The coin is a Henry VI quarter noble minted in London between 1422 and 1427. Jamie Brake is a provincial archaeologist, and he says this impressive gold coin was discovered on the south coast over the summer by Edward Hines.
Well, I think that's an important part of the story. The way that Mr. Hines handled this was really perfect. You know, this is many people don't realize that archaeological materials, artifacts like this, are protected under the Historic Resources Act and so on. So it's sort of human nature to be interested in things like this and to pick them up. So when Mr. Hines found this, he reached out to a local Heritage Society who put him in touch with the rooms, who put him in touch with the Provincial Archaeology Office, and so he did exactly the best thing he could do, which was great.
Well, how much is this coin worth? That's the first question that might come to mind for some, but it's tricky to answer. There was some consultation with the former curator of the Bank of Canada's Currency Museum, Paul Berry, who says the coin would have been worth a sizable amount in the 1400s, valued at 1 shilling and 8 pence. But today, it's a different story.
Here in Newfoundland and Labrador, there's no monetary value attached to archaeological materials like this. The idea being preventing people from selling things like this that are important to the people of the province and that should be preserved.
From here, the coin will make its way to the rooms to eventually be on display for the people of the province to view. Research on the coin is still ongoing, and further work on the site where it was found might be conducted in the future. Beth Penny, NTV News.
Now, will they find other pieces, other archaeological discoveries? The area is protected. And who knows, they may find more gold coins like this. It'd be very fascinating to see, but as you know, I like to do videos, and I appreciate those of you who share some of this stuff with me. If I find them, I like to do videos to talk about some of the found precious metals that are out there. It's amazing. We can kind of live through the fantasies of what other people have found, and this is an example as such. Now, I wonder if he will be compensated for doing the right thing by handing the gold coin over. I hope he will, Mr. Hines, because I think it's something that he's contributing to, possibly even rewriting the history with these discoveries. So fascinating indeed. What an amazing thing. I have a whole playlist, by the way, of videos like this where found precious metals treasure, everything from old Viking silver discoveries to ancient Roman gold coins found, or even silver, and lots of different ways that people have found gold and silver, precious metals, from behind a piano to all different areas, all different ways that they're still found, even in this modern age. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. What do you think about this particular story? And I hope you found it enjoyable and insightful. And I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch this video. And I want to encourage you to please press that thumbs up button, to rate this video. By doing that, it does help the algorithm, and share it with others in the community, whether it be through other social media platforms or maybe on your community tab. And want to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe. Gold. Look at that. Pretty remarkable.